is the middle of the coldest winter in living memory in Afghanistan. Over 900 people have died from the cold here so far this season. Roads are blocked by deep snow, and snowstorms and blizzards have grounded the helicopters. I'm on the first chopper in 2 weeks that's been able to reach this remote US base at Zormat in the eastern border province of Paktia. Despite the extreme conditions, the war here in eastern Afghanistan is still being fought. As soon as I arrive, I join these troops from the US 82nd Airborne, heading out for a 10-day patrol in temperatures that at night, on the high plateaus, drop to -30 Celsius. Their greatest fear? IEDs, improvised explosive devices, an increasingly common form of attack learnt from their devastating success in the Iraq insurgency.
61 IEDs from mid-September through late November, and ballpark about 120, 130 mortar rounds and rockets fired at us. The small arms fire is far and few between. They really don't want to stay. They don't want to stay and fight toe to toe with us. You know, so they do a lot of harassment fire, hit and runs, and they tend to attack the most during like full moons or when the illumination cycle's on the high end.
I think it's full moon at the moment, isn't it?
It's pretty close, so you know what they say with a full moon. So we'll see what happens. I think due to the cold weather and the ice and snow in the passes and their inability to maneuver the ground during the winter time like they did during the summer, they pretty much lay low or go to a safe haven.
At one stage, this unit had lost more than half its transport to IEDs. Travelling with the US troops are members of the Afghan police and army. The Americans say that the Afghans are leading the operation, but in reality, they only act as support for the US troops. The soldiers set up on a snow-covered plain for the night. They want a clear field of view so that they can see any enemy approaching.
We're looking right at him. This is a staging area. We're getting ready for the operation, which will kick off tomorrow morning. Right now, we're just making sure that we have the perimeter secure and get all the team members inside our perimeter.
As night falls, the Afghan troops refuse to sleep in their cold open trucks. They move into villages in the area, demanding shelter with the local people, spoiling any chance of surprise for the operation.
Right, we'll be here till late tonight, early morning, sometime, time to be determined. We'll move out and stage.
As dawn breaks after a freezing and sleepless night, they move out to start the operation.
You ready, Mel? Yeah. All right, I'm moving.
They start to search the first target of the day. It's a compound called a Kalat. Like most Afghan houses, it is built like a fortress with high walls on all sides.
Right there's cows and stinky shit in there.
So far, just mainly ammo, sir?
Yeah.
Before too long, they find a pistol.
اوس په کې یو نه خراب د پنجاب پیدا شو
تا خراب د صورت ته خراب د سړی خو نه ټک کې نه چې په کې تاسو ولوم باندې پاته و
He said that is broken, you cannot shoot with that something, therefore we don't count that as a pistol.
The point is we need him to be honest with us, alright? If he's not honest with us and we find stuff, then he's being detained and he's taken up to Gardes. Alright, just, it's the bottom line.
مهمه ده پوښوي کته مونږ ته رښتیا وایي صداقت مهمه ده په غیر دغه کې وای باندې کوو دي چارو دي راسن ګردې دې لیږل ته باندې خانه ته
سیده خو رښتیا وایي خو سیده خو نو خو هیڅ هم نشته هلته خپل ویني
هیڅ څه ده تفنجه خو څه ده
تفنجه خو د سیوا دې خبره سره څه نه ده.
The soldiers aren't convinced and confiscate the weapon.
He's asking about the pistol so we can turn it back to them. They said we will fix it.
That's what we're afraid of. There was a problem with the honesty at the beginning. We asked if there was a weapon in the house and we were told no there wasn't, then we found one, so that's why we're keeping the pistol.
Because of the lawlessness in this part of Afghanistan, each household is allowed to have one weapon. If they are declared to the searching troops, they are in most cases allowed to keep them. If they are hidden or the people lie about them, they are confiscated.
Or Chinese, what's got the bayonet?
The soldiers tell me it is common to find weapons in these underground cellars.
If you go down there, it's like, it's just it's just a great place to hide stuff. It's deep, it's, secluded and inconspicuous.
There are almost no military-age males in this village. They probably knew the Americans were coming and have fled.
Guys get swallowed up.
They know where we're turning, where we're going, which way we're headed. They know well in advance.
So you reckon they would have gone if they were here?
I would think so. They probably caught wind of something going down. We were only a few kilometers away when we staged last night, and we find a lot of calots. We'll find weapons and ammo, and when we get here, you'll find women and children, no adult males, no military-age males, and the common story we get is during the wintertime the males go to India or Pakistan, go someplace else to work, and then the families are left here.
Which could be true.
It could be. There's probably a lot of truth in that. And it's the unfortunately, it's the honest people out here trying to make a living that are affected by the handful of Taliban running around doing stupid stuff.
At the next collat, they start to uncover a lot more.
Okay, before we give this up, ask him if he's got any weapons. We'll find out if he's lying to us right away. That one home.
Huh?
The owner of the house denies he has any weapons.
The clock thickens. No weapons. Guess what's in there? That'd be no ammo. Oh yeah, it's getting better. Alright. Check this one.
Yeah, come on.
Oh! Now he's in trouble. This guy might be our first detainee. The guy who's got no fucking sure he got a world supply of shit. This guy's getting detained. Roger, I think we just got our first winner. We're kind of in the last cool out of the series. We're finding just an ass load of stuff, mostly small arms stuff, but it's a pretty good stockpile over.
The weapons An old rifle, a pistol, an AK-47 and some grenades mount up.
Let him know. We asked him once before if he had any weapons. He lied to us because obviously we found all this stuff here. This is his chance to be honest. Ask him if he's got any more stuff anyplace else in the kulak, because we're going to find it.
A normal saw blade is seen by the soldiers as potentially being part of an improvised explosive device, the most common and effective method of attacking foreign forces in Afghanistan.
Makes the electrical connection on a pressure plate. Two pieces of two saw blades with a gap. You drive over it, the two pieces of metal make contact, sends the current, and detonates the mine. This has been a huge.
What I need to do, I need to get this stuff.
No, this has been a key piece with all our pressure plates. They've all had, they call it the Zormont saw. They've all had saw blades.
But this is a farm after all, and a saw is a household item.
Right, that's Soldier of Fortune.
I've already been in that magazine.
Yeah. Haven't we all?
My fault.
The commander of the base, Lt Col Woods, comes to inspect the weapons. It is not much, but it is something to show for their work so far.
That is API, of course, the frags. The story of the guy we detained is that this was all left over from the Russian invasion, but API is not 30 years old, and they got Chinese ammo in there.
Those frags aren't 30 years old either. It's all a little new for that.
Right.
Nice cache, shotgun shells, whole deal.
Roger that, sir.
Those aren't 30 years old.
Some of the ammunition is armor-piercing. They are convinced the old man is Taliban.
Military age males?
Very few, sir. So, you know, that's probably not enough in and of itself to throw a guy in the truck, but we kept the ammunition anyway.
This and this is.
That shit is scary.
The hand grenade is not something to someone have it for a security or in his compound.
All right, J-Bolt. Good work. You guys, good job on the whole team out here. It's awesome.
The operation will continue like this for another 9 days, with searches and detentions of anyone who tries to hide weapons. I head back to base with Lt Col Woods. I asked the Lieutenant Colonel exactly how he thinks he can change the allegiances of the people.
That's the question we talk about too. How do you change someone that is grown up in that? How do you do that? I think you have to look. I think we have to look at some of our own experiences at home. How do you turn communities from bad to good? How does that happen? It happens over time. It takes one, like you said earlier. It takes a legitimate government body. It takes a legitimate police force that isn't stealing from you. And I think you have to show them that the government has more to offer than the insurgency does.
The rhetoric has changed. Field commanders like Woods no longer talk of wiping out the Taliban or hunting down the terrorists. The language now focuses on the US military's emerging theories on counterinsurgency, honed in the wars in Iraq and now Afghanistan.
Why has this strategy evolved in this way? Has the US military recognised this is the only way to win this conflict?
You know, we had to come in initially, and remove insurgent threats. They were a direct threat. Well, now those threats have gone to ground. They're hiding. I mean, they're not winning here. They can't win here. The U.S. Army, as far as evolvement, yeah, we've evolved. You have to evolve. If you don't evolve, you're useless in this business. You've got to constantly look at ways to do it better, do it different.
The next morning, the Lieutenant Colonel wants to show me how he is winning. It's not dead or captured Taliban, It's 400 Afghans working on a road paid for by the US military to stop them working for the other side.
So the Taliban tried to stop it through verbal threats over the radio and to leadership, and they couldn't do it. What is the Taliban going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to go out here and do what? Shoot people? You're going to go out here and kill them? So any support that you had in the area or any people that are on the fence just went completely the other way.
Yeah.
You can't kill men with shovels out here working to put food on the table for their families.
So you think you're outsmarted?
What's that?
You've outsmarted them.
I'll never say we outsmarted them because, you know, like we talked about before, how you have to evolve continuously in this counterinsurgency fight. He'll figure something out, and then we'll figure something out.
Down the road, the Afghan Special Forces and their foreign advisors are fighting the war in a different way. Last night they surrounded and stormed a nearby compound where they believed Taliban leaders were hiding. They found no Taliban, and all they achieved was the resentment of the occupants. The same resentment the Lieutenant Colonel is trying to overcome with his programs.
So you were here last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you find anything?
I cannot tell you that, you know, because it's maybe classified, you know. Without my team permission, I would not share this.
Oh, okay. Okay. No problem.
Yeah.
No problem. I'll ask one.
But it was really cold. It was really cold, yeah.
As usual, on the advice of their US trainers, Special Forces don't speak to the press. But before the counterinsurgency can work, nature has thrown some obstacles in its path.
Do it again, you get it. Go, go!
These men will be out here for days, sleeping in their vehicles, protecting themselves from a population that is at best wary of them and at worst is trying to kill them.
We were actually going to use that to sleep in, pile a couple guys in it to stay warm.
Yeah.
That way, you know, one, they're out of the element, and then two, they can actually somewhat sleep.
Back at the base at first light, these soldiers are getting briefed on a new assignment.
TC's in your vehicle, make sure you got good PID before you release any weapons.
The provincial governor is scheduled to meet the local elders at the town hall.
Try to use the smallest weapon possible. We got a lot of civilians over there in these areas. Those larger weapons are going to carry and we'll have too much collateral damage.
A wide security perimeter is thrown around the town hall to prevent suicide bombers attacking the meeting. The governor of Paktia, like most of Afghanistan's governors, is appointed by the President Hamid Karzai and has little power other than the support of the foreign forces. There are constant threats and attempts on his life. This is the first time he has ever come to meet the elders here. Under heavy security, some local leaders list their grievances to the governor. Many have not come out of fear and hatred for the governor and the foreign forces who protect and support him. Others complain of the conduct of the Afghan forces on operations here. The US commander and the governor listen uncomfortably to the litany of complaints against their forces. Again and again, I hear how angry Afghans are becoming and that the source of their anger is their treatment in the ongoing operations. But Lt Col Woods says the troops are just doing their jobs.
We follow the land of law warfare, we follow the rules of engagement, and we teach that to our soldiers, and we teach it over and over, and we teach it to our ANSF counterparts as well. Because not only our mistake will set us back, a mistake they can make can also set the entire process back. That's what you tell them every day.
What do you say to your men who go out there every day facing IED attacks and small arms fire, to make them go on, to make them continue, to make them not respond in a way that's going to jeopardise the progress that's been made?
Well, I think the first thing you do is you thank them. You thank them every single day because they've joined. Most of these kids in the business have joined after 9/11. They came here for a reason. All of them have a reason. Whether they express it or not, they have a reason. Most of them are re-enlisting here. I've got better re-enlistment here than I have in the United States. It's because they believe in what they're doing. So you have to thank them first of all. The second thing you have to do is you have to explain to them the counterinsurgency fight, how we're trying to achieve victory, how we're trying to bring this whole thing together to achieve victory. And then I think you have to remind them too, look, you're giving people something that they've never had. You're giving them freedom. You know, maybe not your version of freedom, like you have it back home, or my version I have back home, yet. But that freedom is coming, and it's coming every single day. And they are providing that. They are providing the underpinning so that can happen. And that's what you tell them. And you got to tell them, you know, the costs have been high to be here. We can't afford to go backwards because of a single, incident or a mistake that we make.
But with the Afghan war entering its 7th year and more than 6,000 Afghans killed in the past 12 months, it seems any freedom will be a long time coming for the people of Afghanistan.